What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Alien movie series review, and we're to our final Alien movie review before Alien Covenant, which comes out tomorrow. Today, I'm reviewing the Alien spinoff, or the Alien prequel, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm reviewing Prometheus. Prometheus is directed by Ridley Scott and stars Michael Fassbender, Noomi Rapace, Charles Theron, and a bunch of other actors. So this film was released in June 2012 and made about $403,354,000 worldwide, making it the 18th highest grossing movie of 2012. This actually did pretty decent at the box office for an Alien film, but it still wasn't all that great. Prometheus is, I guess, an Alien prequel and spin-off in which a group of explorers are set out to find the origin of mankind, and on their exploration they encounter horror. So as I said, it's kind of a prequel and a spin-off. It really has nothing to do with any of the other Alien films, but it still takes place in, the Alien universe. So in the beginning of this movie, we see this strange humanoid, which is obviously called an engineer, but the engineer, drinks a liquid and weirdly dissolves into a waterfall. The movie cuts to the year 2089 with archaeologists Elizabeth Shaw and Charlie Holloway, and they're doing a bunch of exploring. They talk about how the engineers are the forerunners, the creators of humanity. And during this discovery, they discover a star map in Scotland that actually matches others from several unconnected ancient cultures. So an expedition is funded to follow the map to the distant moon LV-223, on the ship called the Prometheus, hence the title. While the ship's crew is in status, we meet an android named David, who's obviously played by Michael Fassbender. I really like David. It's just really cool seeing, a lot of what androids do and, what they are. And I think we really get to see that with David's character. We kind of get to learn more about androids and everything. So I really like that. So the Prometheus arrives on the planet and we see some pretty cool exploring. They get to the structure and they find stone cylinders, this statue of a humanoid head, and this decapitated corpse of a large alien. Thought to be an engineer. So there's some cool exploring in the beginning there. And obviously Shaw recovers the decapitated alien corpse. And yeah, sure, it's not a horror type. In the start, it's not really horror-ish like the other Alien films, but it's nice seeing something different. Seeing more exploration than horror. It's just nice seeing something different like that. So during the expedition, a huge storm hits, and in the ship's lab, the engineer's DNA is found to match that of humans. So Holloway takes a drink of liquid from a cylinder, from a statue, and then has sex with Shaw. I think we know that might not go so well. So, these two guys are part of, the crew and everything. Milburn and Philfield get attacked by a snake-like creature, and I think it's so stupid how these guys, these scientists, treat an alien like a freaking pet. Like a pet. It's just so dumb. How they're oh, hey, it's okay, little guy. Seriously? You're scientists and that's how you view aliens? Seriously, how idiotic can you be to think that that's a good idea? It's an alien, it's gonna attack you. So Holloway dies by getting flamed, as he gets sick, and a medical scan reveals that Shaw is pregnant, but she, of course, gets the creature out of her, and I kind of like this scene. It's, pretty suspenseful knowing what, in the past films, we've seen what aliens can do, and it's kind of nice knowing that, and, I think that's done pretty well. Wayland, who started the expedition, is revealed to be alive, and he explains that, he wants to ask the engineers to prevent his death from old age. Wayland and the team return to the structure, accompanied by Shaw, and they wake an engineer in stasis and speak to him and explain, what Wayland wants. The engineer immediately responds nicely by decapitating David and killing Wayland and his team. So obviously Shaw flees and warns Janik that the engineer is planning to release this liquid on Earth, convincing him to stop the spacecraft. So the remaining crew sacrifice themselves by ramming the Prometheus into an alien spacecraft. I think the effects for the scene is actually pretty well, like how it crashes and everything. I think it's done pretty well. So Shaw goes to the lifeboat and finds her alien offspring is alive and has grown to just gigantic size. David's head is actually still active, and he warns Shaw that the engineer is after her. The engineer attacks Shaw, who releases her alien offspring onto the engineer, and I think this battle is actually pretty fun to watch. I think the fighting is pretty well done, and it's just cool seeing this, weird humanoid face off against this gigantic alien. I think it's pretty fun. The offspring puts her ovipositor down the engineer's throat, defeating him. So yeah, Shaw recovers David's remains, and with his help, launches another engineer spacecraft. She intends to, reach the engineer's homeworld in an attempt to understand why they wanted to destroy humanity. So overall, I actually like Prometheus. It did something different with Alien and made it into more of a, discovery type movie, which I actually enjoyed. The characters of this movie, however, are not so great. Mostly all the characters in this film are just pretty forgettable and not that interesting. And the funny thing is, the android David is, in my opinion, the most memorable character in the movie. I just honestly find him the most memorable character. Michael Fassbender did amazing in the role. Michael Fassbender is such a good actor, and I think he did great as David. I thought Elizabeth Shaw was another, pretty memorable character. But besides them, no one really stands out for me in the movie. I think the alien creatures of this film are pretty nice. I actually like the look of the engineers, and I like the whole idea of these engineers and, how they're kind of discovering, obviously, like, who created mankind. But yeah, I just like the idea of these engineers, and I think they kind of look pretty cool. How they're kind of, like, humanoid shaped, and they just have, like, really weird coloring. I like it. And I also like the giant offspring that, at the end when it turns giant, that, Shaw originally had, that, that she gave birth to. So yeah. The plot of this movie is pretty good. I actually like how these people want to discover, the origin of mankind. It was just something cool and unique for, an alien universe film. And as I said, I just like how this film did something different and is like a discovery film rather than a horror, even though it does have horror elements. And when it has horror elements, it's decent. Obviously, there's some stupid moments, like when the scientists are they're calling the alien cute and everything, and it attacks them. It's pretty stupid how they're doing that. But most of the horror elements are pretty nice in this film, like when they're there. So yeah. And of course this movie can be slow in some places, probably due to the lack of action, but I'm on board for most of the way through. So yeah, I actually really enjoy the plot. The soundtrack of this movie is decent. None of the tracks are really that memorable, but I think when watching the movie, it works pretty decently. So that's my in-depth review of Prometheus. Hope you enjoyed. Alien Covenant is tomorrow on Friday. I'm gonna see it tomorrow on Friday. So I'm really excited for that. Or at least I think I will. But yeah, I'm really excited for that. Yep, I'm excited for Covenant. Seeing, where it's gonna go after Prometheus. And yeah, so that's my in-depth review of Prometheus. Hope you enjoyed it, and my next in-depth movie review series will probably be on the DCEU films, DC Extended Universe. Just because I want to review those. I've been planning it for a while now on reviewing those films. So I'll probably start those sometime soon in anticipation for Wonder Woman. That's my in-depth review of Prometheus, and obviously I'll probably have a review of Alien Covenant soon. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.